Good morning, my beautiful lovelies. How is everyone today? It's Monday. We made it to another week. I have had an amazing, I've had some pretty amazing validating moments the last week. And yesterday was the cherry on top of the cake. So today's card, and I'll talk a little bit more about yesterday, but today's card is the universe saying, hey, yesterday was important. And this is today's card. Hearing truth. And there's Astra. Hearing truth. And there's a dove on there and a butterfly and the woman with the mountains in the background. I love the sacred geometry and the symbols in this. It's beautiful. Looks like Astra is going to be over our shoulder today. So this is what I wrote. We all have the ability to hear our guides and listen to the universal song of connection. The deepest level of connection is a vibrational, tonal song. If we can learn to find that place of peace, our center, and listen, we can hear the truth beyond the physical words and their logical meaning. Listening is an activity. Listening is an activity. Hearing and allowing the information in and allowing it to settle if it belongs there. This is the way of the shaman. Listening to the soul beyond, behind, deep, and through whatever is happening. Through the power of the shaman's experience, through and with the vibrational richness of the universe, the shaman is able to create spiritual wisdom for the community. The shaman brings balance and unity, connection, and love between the reality of the Great Spirit and Earth. The shaman transmutes that tonal vibration into words or into action or both. The shaman never assumes that the whole truth is revealed all at one time, but understands and knows that listening and finding that peace in each moment for that truth to be revealed, sometimes not in what is said, but in the moment between breaths and between words. We communicate in this human body through sight, smell, touch, vibration, sound, taste, breath, water, connection, and so much more. Part of the shamanic journey is the path involving extremes, and having wandered through life, through deserts of sadness, joy, energetic highs, crushing pain, fatigue. The body and the mind are pushed to extremes, near the death experiences, physical and mental traumas, and then the healing process. All of these challenges are the initiation to become conscientiously and with intention a container to channel the energy. The shaman is empowered to guide others through what has been mastered for healing. A shaman can't do it for you. A teacher can't do it for you. You have to do it yourself, but they can guide. The shaman is rarely taught by other shamans in today's world. We do not as a culture recognize the child's potential, nor give them the foundations or the cultural support needed. A shaman's journey in this life, if through life, and then with awareness, acceptance. When the time is right for you, you will be brought to the guides and your awareness and the teachers in this physical world to support and validate and help you expand. Teachers will always be in the space with you without ego or judgment They will see your light and share your light with love and grace. And there's a big thing there. Our teachers come into our world without ego. And they listen and they pay attention. And they let you fill your space. They answer your questions and they let you have the journey. And they don't promise you that it'll be easy. And they don't make promises that what's the word I'm looking for? That lie to you. I think that's where I'm going with this, is they're not going to lie to you. You may not like the answer, but they won't lie to you. So today's prayer, I call upon the Earth Mother and Father Sky. I call upon my ancestors and guides. I release from my ears on all levels, the physical, electrical, and spiritual, anything that is not divine. I take a moment in silence to listen to your wisdom and be in your light. Blessed be. There's a blanket over there on the side of the couch that's really soft. I think that what I found profound about this morning's card, Hearing Truth, is I had an unexpected gift from the universe yesterday. I chose the Samhain season this year to really work on my shadow stuff personally, because I know that I need to be in a place when, well, I've got things I know I need to do, and to get there, I've got some things I need to kind of work through. They're the last vestigial pieces of a big thing that I've been working on for, I've probably been doing the hardest part of the work the last 5 or 6 years. Really since 2012, really. Like, it all kind of, the worst and the hardest part of it bubbled up about then. And we're in 2022. So the last 10 years have been a decade of really working on some things that, as I turn this corner into the next space, I'm ready. Because I have to be ready for other people. Because this isn't about me. This is about others. And I know that. And so the last couple weeks, I've been really, really struggling with things that might not seem to be something that someone from the outside looking in would think, you have to work on that, Red? Why do you have to work on that? Because we all have a shadow side in this physical manifestation. And we all have things we have to work on. I am not exempt from that journey. And anybody that tells you they are is lying to you. There are things that I have figured out. Okay. But maybe tomorrow I'm proven wrong and I have to reevaluate my world. That's okay. I'm accepting of that. And one of the things that I've been really struggling with, and y'all are going to laugh at me, but I have really been struggling with this weird, well, I'll back up a little bit. Like, I have thyroid issues, so like physiologically I have thyroid issues. And I know this comes from childhood trauma, not being able to speak my truth, not being able to be 100% present as a spiritual entity, living in this physical body and being recognized and being seen and being acknowledged and being heard. And so what came out of that is a autoimmune disease, Hashimoto's, thyroiditis. And so that's physiological, but there is an energetic part of that. And I am trying to get my book written, probably more than one book, but I'm trying to get this work done. And I hit a stalling point, and I've been really frustrated with it because I know the information is there, but I am crippled and paralyzed, and not in my typing fingers, but in my throat chakra, which means I can't get anything out. Even I can't force it. And what's come with that is this feeling of, it's not imposter syndrome, but it is kind of like imposter syndrome, in the sense that, what do I have to share? There's all kinds of stuff being written, and there's all kinds of work that's out there, and what am I going to contribute that's different than anybody else? And so I've really, really been struggling with that. And I know that I have to reframe it, and I have to work on what's behind that. I have to work on that blockage. And that's a lot of work. That's a lot of talking to a counselor and doing shaman work for myself and allowing myself to be present and allow the universe to bring me the validations that I need. And I've had a couple. I've had some amazing ones, actually. And each one is just a little nugget of a treasure that it just makes my heart sing and my spirit sing and it makes all of this lighter. And yesterday, I went to a activity that, Spirit often puts things kind of in front of me so that I can't see for myself. Like because it's not meant for me, or I'm not supposed to pay attention. And it ran across my Facebook, and Jack, a gentleman that I met a couple weeks ago, and I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. And I went online and I did a quiz, and in the middle of the quiz, I'm like, I should have grounded and centered for this. I didn't pay attention to it. I just kind of quickly went through it, and I went, yeah, I'll just go. Because the title of the workshop is what caught my interest. I didn't read anything else. I didn't read the website. I did not prepare. Not even a little bit. And yesterday morning, I almost didn't go. Sunday's the day that I spend with my husband, when I spend time with Luke, and we sit on the couch and we talk about weird things, or we just sit with each other and be in each other's presence. And I almost didn't go. And I went, no, I'm going to get up. I'm going to do this. I need to go. I didn't know why I needed to go. I didn't even know what I was going to be doing. I wasn't entirely certain what the whole activity was. I went, and it took me about a half an hour to figure out what the hell was going on. I really was confused, and it took me a hot minute to realize that it was actually a teaching workshop, and I was a volunteer to have the students practice on me. And I went, uh-oh. What did I volunteer for? But I'll back up. When I walked in, Jack was there, and I went, okay, that's good. I'm meant to be here. And then 2, I walked in the room, and there was this soul sitting. I saw her. I saw some I recognized, others I didn't recognize, others that I felt like I should recognize. And anybody who's come to see me as a client knows that I have a hard time sometimes in new situations seeing the physical person, because I recognize their energy or their soul or their light first. And this beautiful soul at the other side of the room, I went and I thought, I'll sit close to the door, because that's my natural intuition. I'm going to sit close to the door so I can escape. And this soul was inside the circle. She was on the other side of the circle. And I took a hot minute, took a breath, listened to my guides and said, can I sit over there by you? And she's like, absolutely. And it was just this amazing connection. And then one of the other souls that I recognized came over and sat next to me, and we all kind of chatted for a few minutes. And the whole time, this other woman who had come and sat next to me, I knew who she was, but I didn't know who she was. Like, at a conscious level, I was confused. At a subconscious level, there was a recognition. And it took me about another 20 minutes to figure out, oh, I know who she is. My consciousness caught up to my knowing. Oh, it was, I kind of giggled at that particular moment. And so this whole activity, I'm just fascinated. I'm absolutely fascinated because the teacher, well, there's two teachers, and one teacher is vibrationally a teacher in, they're teachers in different ways. And that's a good thing, because it's always good if you're going to have a tandem teacher group to have teachers that teach differently. And I recognized the male teacher. I still don't know where I recognize him from. Not in this world, from somewhere else. And it's like trying to chase the red dot like the cat does. I feel like I'm chasing the red dot, but my squirrely brain will figure it out. Anyway, it was just a day of validation, and validation in my work and my writing, because the beautiful soul that I saw and that met yesterday is a publisher. And I'm like, oh, it was just, and there is your publisher. So would you get the damn book done? It was pretty much my guide going, and here you go. Here's your cake and your cherry on top. Would you get the damn thing done? I can't help but to laugh, because I needed it. I needed that moment of, and here you go. And there was a gentleman there who I definitely need to get my partner that we're working on this energy body and body work method. I need to get him to meet her because they're from the same place. And there was just another bunch of connection. And you know, I've hidden away from the metaphysical community for a decade. And I'm just now really emerging and really connecting. And in that grace of connection and allowing the universe to validate the work that I'm doing, I'm being seen I've been sad about it. And not surprised, but sad for most of my life that I'm invisible. I can be in a room and I make people uncomfortable, and yet I'm invisible to the people that I want to have connection with, because they're gorgeous, beautiful souls that I just want to support and help. And yesterday I had a true moment of -3 people throughout the day. I was seen, and it was amazing. And I hope that I wasn't so overwhelmed that I didn't give that back. There was an organic moment at the very end that I didn't realize what had happened until my brain was kind of slowing down at the end of the evening and I was getting ready for bed. And this is part of the physiological thing with autism and ADHD, okay? And I've struggled with this my whole life, is that when I'm in a very intense environment. It was a very loud room. There was echoes going on. I didn't wear my headphone or my earplugs, my noise filtery things. I was being touched all day long, which is very uncomfortable for me because I was in a room of touchy-feely people. They're all healers. I get it. I was not offended, but it was very sensory overload all day long. And I'm taking a whole bunch of new information in, and I'm getting this layered dimensional validation. So there were some things that happened yesterday that I didn't process till last night, and some stuff that's just now coming forward this morning that I'm going, oh shit, that happened too. It was at the tail end of the day yesterday, and I was about to leave, and I realized that all of the students were kind of gathered in a semicircle, minus 1, 2, and I took a moment, and I was just so startled that they were all standing there. They weren't, and then they were there, and I tried really hard to, in the moment, give them each a light blessing, and I hope I got everybody. And then I kind of was running away at that point. One person kind of waylaid me, and I was like, oh yes, I need to acknowledge that person. And then the teacher kind of walked me out, and I was mentally already running out the door and trying to be present at the same time. That does not work, by the way. And last night, as I was going to sleep, I gave each and every one of them an extra little blessing from afar, because I don't know that I got everybody. And I really wanted the blessing of reciprocity to be acknowledged. So today's card is hearing truth, and hearing truth comes at a vibrational frequency of love and acceptance and light. And truth is not bad. It is always of love. And I was reaffirmed of that yesterday, and I was also reaffirmed, and I don't think, because I know the message was for me, but that I walk the shaman way in this life. And that's a terrible word to use because it's borrowed and not quite right. And I feel like somehow I'm going to have to find a different word or set of words to make that resonate properly for the next transition. But for now, I will use the word shaman. And yesterday brought that all forward. And I was seen, and I got to see others, and I got to help validate one of the teachers who has needed this next step for their work. And I'm just so blessed to have been in the space. And I wanted to share that in daily devotion today, because hearing truth, when you ask the universe and you say, I want to work on shadow, and I want to work on what will bring me to the next step, part of what happens with that, and each individual is different, but part of what happens with that is the universe brings it to you in the right time, in the right place, and it's hard. And it's supposed to be hard. And I've been really struggling with that quality of stuff that has bubbled up my voice. And I just need y'all to know that it takes time and patience with yourself and self-love, and it takes community. And I don't know who these people will be in my future, but I know that yesterday, in that moment, in that space, I had found that validating community in that moment to say, Red, you got to get on that book. Get on the book. Here's your validation. Cha-ching! Now work on the book. And community can come in all different kinds of layers, and it can only be a community for a moment, for a day. And that's okay too. It's all important. Astra's looking at you saying hello. So I hope you all have a beautiful day, my friends. And I will see you tomorrow in prayer. Blessed be.